This is update 1 on Tropical Depression 21W, currently located over the southern Philippines with winds of 35 miles per hour and a pressure of 1000 millibars. Its position is 9.4 degrees north, 124.6 degrees east. As of 8 p.m. UTC on November the 26th, the storm is expected to continue towards the west, emerging into the South China Sea after crossing over Palawan and then becoming a tropical storm, possibly before that if it gets its act together, and it could peak as a significant tropical storm before making landfall in Vietnam. Of course, the storm is over land areas right now, so the immediate threat is with the southern Philippines, particularly the southern Visayas and the northern Mindanao region. More on that and the warnings very shortly, but the storm is expected to move towards the west and affect Vietnam and then move inland as well into southeastern Asia on the mainland. So looking at the current warnings, Signal 1 warnings in effect for most of those areas that I mentioned, including Palawan as well, already under Signal 1 warnings. We could be seeing heavy rain in this area, which could lead to flooding, of course, particularly locally, and strong winds, which could gust into tropical storm force, though we're not likely to see sustained tropical storm conditions yet in any particular area, except perhaps Palawan tomorrow. But Signal 1 warnings for the majority of that region. Sea surface temperatures remain rather warm, around 28 or 29 degrees, and that will continue until at least halfway over the South China Sea, where they'll begin to drop off just that little bit, but still it's going to be warm enough to sustain tropical cyclone conditions. So the storm is expected to move towards the west, as I say, and that's where we have some higher amounts of wind shear as well. If that remains the case, it could provide a few problems for the storm as it heads towards Palawan, but I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Dry air, there's a lot of it towards the east of the storm, over the Mariana Islands, and a little bit over the north part of the South China Sea, but not too much to worry about, I don't think, in terms of the storm at least. The CMC model takes the storm into Vietnam, and rather interestingly, two storms form behind that. Another one in the South China Sea off the coast of the Philippines, and a further one on the eastern side of the country, which could provide a bit of a disaster for the Philippines if they both end up on either side of the islands. The GFS model has another storm striking the Philippines as well in a few days' time after the current one strikes Vietnam, a very low latitude storm with a typhoon behind that forming as well near the Mariana Islands. So looking right now at the satellite imagery, you can see the storm as it progresses slowly towards the west. The centre of the storm appears to be somewhere around the island of Bohol right now, and heavy rain for all that area around there, Leyte, Cebu, moving over towards the west as well, towards those islands too, in the Visayas region. And of course, I've seen worse looking tropical storms, heavy rainfall over that area, and that's likely to continue for a few hours yet over the Visayas region. Northern Mindanao, only the extreme northern parts of that island will be seeing the worst of the conditions, but still it could lead to some flooding there, and indeed across the whole region. The spiral bands from the system are already reaching Palawan, with the main course to arrive in around 24 hours. As of November the 26th at 8 p.m. UTC, there are no storms in the western hemisphere apart from a winter storm over the eastern United States. Invest 97S in the southern Indian Ocean approaching Madagascar, and of course Tropical Depression 21W is all that's on offer right now. 74 tropical storms have formed so far this year worldwide. This one could be the 75th, which would be just 3 off 2010, 2011, 1999 and 95, which are the lowest 4 since 1989. 43 of those have become 74 mile per hour Category 1 hurricanes or higher, and 25 Category 3 storms, both of those higher than most of the ones above them. You can follow Force 13 on any of its 6 outlets. The website force13.com is the main place to keep up to date on all the goings on around the world, storm-wise. Of course, the video pages, as always, will keep you regularly updated whenever there's something going on, YouTube and Daily Motion, as will the social pages, Facebook and Twitter. Search Force 13 on those mediums, at Force 13 on Twitter. And you can speak to me personally as well on Skype, at Fool13 on there for tropical weather chat. Until the next update, which will probably follow in around 24 hours time, 9 p.m. UTC on November 27th, that will be all for now.